Hello and welcome back to everyone. On to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. We're still a few weeks away from Double or Nothing, so this week's show was about building up to it. It's a special 3 hours with the first hour of Collision bolted on. We've got some big matches, including Darby Allin vs Kevin Knight for the world title and Mox v Juice Robinson in the Continental Championship Eliminator. But to start the show off, we had Tony Schiavone in the ring before the show began, and AEW wanted to pay tribute to Ted Turner following news of his passing on Wednesday. Schiavone talked about working under Turner during his time in WCW, saying Turner changed the way wrestling worked and he loved the business and the fans. He brought out Sting to share his thoughts and memories about the late TNT founder and the icon called Turner a billionaire who loved wrestling. He said there would be no Sting without Turner before hyping Darby's title match later in the show, and adding that Tony Khan was similar to Turner in his love for the business. And yeah, all there is to say really is rest in peace, Ted. As we moved on to the action, starting off with that Mox Robinson match, the announcers filled us in on the history between these two from NJPW. They came head to head and talked some trash before they began throwing hands to start the action. Juice took control with some chops in the corner and maintained the upper hand for a couple of minutes as the fighting spilled outside. Robinson had inconsistent booking in AEW due to injuries, but this felt like the first time I got to see the same guy who was so successful in Japan. He felt like a real threat to Mox. He's often portrayed as one of the toughest men in AEW. If you wanted a technical clinic, you were never going to get it in this match, but if you wanted two guys who are a little off the heat, beat each other up, this one's for you. The first half of the match was relatively tame, but they picked up the pace and after the break, and they really showed up. This turned into a hard-hitting fight that had the crowd cheering and chanting. Mox scored the winner's Bulldog choke. Juice put up a good fight, 7 out of 10, and we moved on to Cassidy taking on Dax Harwood, who was flanked by the Dogs. And Stokely halfway when he came out, so Orange Cassidy brought out his trio partners, the Bucks, Copeland and Christian. The announcers said this seems to turn into an unofficial lumberjack match due to a number of people outside. The contest started simply enough with a sequence of takedowns and counters. It surprisingly took a long time for anyone to go to ringside other than watch the action, so it was nice to see OC and Dax get a chance to have a good wrestling match before the shenanigans. Cassidy ended up getting a clean win with a pinning combination, but as soon as it was over, all hell broke loose. The babyface cleared most of the heels out of the ring before taking some time to punish Rocky and Trent. The match was entertaining, the post-match angle was quick, addressing several feuds at once. So yeah, served a good purpose. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. Chris Jericho then had an interview with Renee backstage, but ended up heading to the ring so he could challenge in front of everyone. He called out the demand, and it didn't take long for Ricochet and the Gates Wagner to show up. The crowd booed heavily as Ricochet talked trash. They agreed to have a match, but Ricochet said he wanted it to be Stadium Stampede. Doubted Jericho could find 4 people to his back. Jericho said even if he can't find anyone, he will take it on by himself. Hit Ricochet with the mic and then sent Gates' agony over the top rope. Lay out Rico a big back elbow before the owner and Khan took him down. The Hurt Syndicate ran to the ring to make its way to the segment, so it looks like we know who at least 2 of them will be. A decent segment to build a new match. It won't set the world on fire, but it served its purpose, and personally I've always been a big fan of Stadium Stampede, so I'm looking forward to that. As we then moved on to our next match, which was the International Championship match between Okada and Keith. The Bounty Hunter has been active on the indie scene in ROH, but this is his first appearance in Dynamite since January. The Rainmaker tried to intimidate his much smaller opponent, but Keith never backed down from a fight and took control early on. It took Okada dropping his momentum. Okada stopped his style merged well with Keith because it allowed the Bounty Hunters to gain a lot of offense before the champ turned the tide in his favour, hitting a Rainmaker clothesline to get the win and retain his belt lead. These were the sole outings for both men, and a reminder Keith still has a lot of value to offer. So yeah, overall I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. This was good stuff. As we then moved on to the next match, which was Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa teaming up to battle Stat and Shida. These 4 have been having issues in recent weeks, so this was their chance to get everything worked out. Chris and Mina got the match started with a nice exchange. Stat looked as confident as ever and taunted Shirakawa with some dance moves to mock her entrance. The match was slightly clunky in places, but overall an enjoyable tag match. Cameron continues to improve with every match, and out of 3 have earned reputation as great performers in AEW. Shida got the win for her team with a Falcon Arrow to Cameron. There were a couple of notable mistakes in this one, but they didn't ruin the whole match, and overall, yeah, like I said, it was pretty solid with Shida and Stat getting a win. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. As we next up got the main event of the Dynamite portion, with Darby defending his world title against Kevin Knight. A real babyface v babyface match for them, but it gave him a chance to have a different kind of bout. Different chance broke out as they traded holds and reversals. After their initial exchange, Allen offered his hand, but Knight stepped away and told him to bring the fight. With both of these men being known for their high-flying antics, it wasn't surprising that their match eventually progressed to include more high-risk moves. Both of these put on some of their best work in AEW lately. So the scene in Rocklands was excellent. And Knight started selling a leg injury, so once I had the Scorpion Deathlock, it seemed like he was on borrowed time. The Jet countered the coffin drop with both knees, but this hurt his leg even more. Even though he wasn't excited about the outcome, was predictable, and Alan got the win with 2 coffin drops to retain. MJF came out after match. Alan reiterated he needed MJF to put something online too. Alan said he needed to put his hair online. MJF stormed off, but Okada came out to repeat his style for the title bout, and Alan accepts his challenge. Love Darby continuing defending the belt, and I think MJF hair match could be very interesting. So yeah, 7 out of 10. As we then got Speedball Mike Bailey in action after his Jet Speed tag team partner when he took on AR Fox, and now he's really been seen on AEW TV. Between Bailey's speed and MMA skills, Fox's agility and creativity, it's not a surprise to hear it was going to be fun. Bailey scored the win after a solid performance from both guys, and hopefully it means Fox gets more AEW ring time too. 6 out of 10. As we then got Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue, who came out alone instead of Julia Hart. Hayter used her power advance to take control at first, but Blue fought back and made sure it felt like an even fight. Unfortunately, a good chunk of this bout happened during the break, so we didn't really get to see much of what happened. Hayter scored the win with the Hayter from the middleweight. Thekla and Hart taunted her from the crowd, so Hayter hit Blue with one more clothesline for good measure. And yeah, overall, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It was solid, if not spectacular. As we then moved on to Roosh taking on local talent named Manny Lowe, who offered a handshake but was beaten in less than 30 seconds. Toro Blanco grabbed the mic and said his catchphrase was to wrap things up. It took longer to type this than it did for Roosh to beat his opponent. So yeah, not really a lot happening. As we then moved on to our big main event, a 10-man tag match, the Bucks teaming up with Ace Austin, Colton and Austin Gunn, taking on Clark Connors, David Finlay, Rudy Yuta, Garcia and Carly Castanelli. The fight started in the aisle with the heels attacking their babyface during their entrance, so this was chaos right from the start. Tags were basically factored out of this match. Nobody cared who was supposed to be legal, and we never got to a point where it's just 2 men fighting in the ring. With matches like this in limited time, making the whole thing mayhem is probably the best route to take, especially since they had little overtime at the end of the show. Nobody really stood out, but it's not a bad way to end the show. They all contributed to a fun match. While this may have been fun, it really lacked any sense of cohesion. There's a lot of selling going on. It was never easy to tell who was supposed to be legal or whatever. Ace ended up pinning Yuta to get the win for his team. The Bucks and Gang celebrated to wrap up the 3-hour episode. Overall, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I think, yeah, like I say, a pretty fun match, but yeah, just chaos. Overall, AEW Dynamite this week gets a 6 out of 10. Like I said, quite an episode of Dynamite. I think lots of intriguing future directions there. And yeah, some decent matches on the card as well. 3 hours, I don't know, it's a bit too long for me, but I enjoyed a lot of what was on there. So yeah, overall I thought it was pretty decent. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.